And we are live for the
Hey.
final Bluegrass Brunch of 2021. Week number 9. We made it, guys.
We did
it.
We're done.
I can't believe it. Good morning, everyone who's tuning in. We are the High 48's Bluegrass Band, a bluegrass band based out of the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And every year we do this Bluegrass Brunch in January and February, every Saturday. And we usually do it at the Astor Cafe, a great listening room in Minneapolis. But this year, obviously, we're doing it online. And the final brunch every year is always the indication that brighter days and warmer weather is on the way. So there's kind of it's bittersweet. Like I'll miss these events every week. But
Usually we're pushing grass seeds, and that's not happening this year. And
I know,
little different, but hey, it is warmer outside, so
that's true.
I mean,
so if we were at the Astor, that's when people start migrating to the patios.
there are some climatological similarities, so we'll hold on to those.
Well, for those of you who are new to this, this is part performance and part just hanging out. The three of us are going to trade songs for the first 30 minutes, and then we bring on a special guest. And today's special guest for the season finale are some of our favorite musicians anywhere, the Roe Family Singers. Kim and Quillan are going to be singing together. I just saw them play at the Folk Alliance conference this past week, and man, they sound good. So you're in for a treat. And the other thing about this hangout is it's all about you guys in the comments. So I see a bunch of you have already shown up. Connie, yeah, I know it's a bummer. It's the last one. For those of you who don't know Connie, let's give Connie a round of applause. She does our sound.
Yes.
In spirit this
Connie,
spirit this year, but when we're at the Astor, she sits under the soundboard and mutes it so we can
Mutes it so she doesn't have to listen to us anymore.
Yeah, our friend Katie. Katie, it's great to see you again. Out in Berkeley, California. Great to have you back. And speaking of long distance, Severin in Germany.
Hey, Severin.
Severin. Oh man, it's been great to have you here with us virtually. We got Penny. Hey, it's my wife downstairs. Good morning, Sarah. We got Debbie and Shirley Ann is back. I hope you're feeling good, Shirley Ann. This is great. So half the fun really is just hanging out with you guys, and we're just so glad to be here. So feel free to jump in the comments and chat us up or chat each other up, and we're gonna get started here in a second. But I have to say, guys, this morning got a knock on the door.
Oh.
And I got a special delivery. And I had just run out of, you know what it was, yes.
Oh,
my Ruby Roasters coffee that my wife got me for a Christmas present. She got me this subscription, and I'd run out, and I was just all week just like biting my fingernails, hoping for the final brunch that it would show up, and it sure did.
Wow.
And we're going to Peru today.
Oh,
and this has got notes of pear, malt, vanilla, and chocolate cake.
Oh, can you taste all those flavors?
Hold on, let me see.
That's a lot.
Let's see if you can pick them out.
It just tastes like morning to me. It tastes great. How about you guys? Any special brunch for the final brunch?
I should have done something special, but I'm just drinking. I already. This is, I think, my 6th cup or something already.
Woo!
So, no, maybe not 4 for sure, but just the old Starbucks veranda blend gets me going.
Nice. And Eric, are you back
And
on
today I've got water, but with bubbles. I believe the locals call this Le Croix.
La Croix.
Nice. You're kind of the wild card, Eric. I don't know what it's going to be.
We never really know.
That's how I roll. Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Well, good morning. We've got a few more folks here. John, welcome. Glad you found us. And Nancy, great to see you. And Barbara from Connecticut, thank you so much for being here. Denise, good morning.
Yes, I was going to say, where is she?
Good morning.
Terry.
She gotta be watching.
Awesome. It's so good to have you all here. Let's just pretend we're all in a living room somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And listening to music. And first up, we're gonna hear some bluegrass music here from Clint. He was telling me.
I'm gonna try one. We always share what we're gonna do, or Tony does. I like to wait until the last minute to share what I'm gonna do, but Tony's stuff was all original, so I thought I'd keep it trad here with what I'm doing. Sticking to the old Tony Rice mold a little bit here. This is one off of the Skaggs and Rice album that I've never done before, so we'll give it a shot. It's called
Nice.
Will the Roses Bloom?
Oh, that's a good one.
dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand. Her lips were like a bunch of roses. Her eyes shine like the starlit sky. Her hair was dark and it was curly. I'll miss her till the day I die. Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? Well, I miss my darling. She is sleeping underneath the beautiful sky. I miss her now that she has left me. I will miss her till the day I die. Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? Will the roses bloom where she lies sleeping? Will the flowers shed their petals there? Will the dewdrops fall upon the roses where my darling sleeps beneath the sand? That one.
That
Nice.
sounded great, man.
Thank you, thank you.
That guitar
I,
just sounds so good too.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
You know, and that song, I love that kind of Skaggs Rice version. I would love
Yeah.
to hear you and Eric twinning that one.
Yeah.
someone's got to be
Time
keeping a
around
list
that.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, we're got some new stuff here for the next season here, which is exciting. That sounded great,
yes.
and we got
Thank
a bunch
you,
of
thank
people
you.
that also thought it sounded great. Beautiful, love this song, says Connie. Beautiful, says Severin, and great playing, Clint, says
Thank you,
Carla.
thank you.
And I agree. And good morning,
Appreciate it.
all of you.
Yes.
Hand claps from Germany.
All the way.
All the
Yep,
way.
we can hear you, Denise. Very nice. Awesome. Cool. Well, this, it's the final brunch, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of dig out some, more obscure stuff. And about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I was on a songwriting binge, and it was also like a time when we were just gigging all the time. We were super busy, and
while
somehow
ago.
I thought like things were tough, because I was so busy and trying to balance everything, and anyways, I was thinking about this idea, this concept of like really to do your best work, you got to, take care of yourself. And
Yeah.
I wasn't really taking care of myself at all. And so I had this kind of the story in mind of this guy who goes out to, some sort of sketchy motel out in the country off some highway and closes the curtain and, kind of has a mental breakdown. which may or may not have been where I was. But what's interesting is but the idea was that you're going to get away, right? You're gonna lock yourself up in a room and finally get the peace you need. And it ended up being, there was a verse, as you'll hear, with a mention of fevers and the world being on fire and stuff. So unfortunately, I just didn't want to play it, because it just was ringing too true after the pandemic started. But I wanted to dig it out anyway.
Let's hear it.
I'll give it a try. This is a tune called Retreat. Dark velvet curtains and a small brass key. Do not disturb this room, please. Lay low, I'm trying to get my head in airplane mode. The world outside is burning, yes I know, but I've a fever of my own. And I'm not fit for fighting, I just need a good night's sleep. Oh, this is not surrender, just retreat. Just retreat. Lie still on sheets of cotton, stale smoke and bleach. Listen to the humming of the ice machine. Just let the darkness cover me. Shut down these horror stories looping in my head. No option left now but a hard reset. No time left for grieving or regrets. And my jaw's still sore from smiling, just trying to keep the peace. Oh, this is not surrender, just retreat. Just retreat. I just need a good night's sleep. There's a face in this old mirror, but it's not me. My jaw's still sore from smiling, just trying to keep the peace. Oh, this is not surrender, just retreat. Just retreat. Hold up, I'm out here looking for some vacancy. Dark velvet curtains and a small brass key. Do not disturb this room, please.
Very nice.
That's a great tune, Tony. That really
Thanks,
is.
man.
Another one for the list.
I remember didn't you put a little YouTube video out or on Facebook when you did that? Yeah, I remember liking that one a lot.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys. I got some yeses and a clap. And
That's
one of
a
my
great
favorites from our good buddy, Derek Johnson out there. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate that. And yeah, I don't know. I just figured it was, oh, thanks, Mom. That's awesome. And thanks, Mary Pat and Gary.
Mary Pat.
You know, why not? It's the final Bluegrass Brunch, and I feel like I can finally do it. It was just too close to home, like before the vaccines had rolled out and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just too dark. I couldn't deal with it. But anyways, we're trying new stuff today. As you guys are going to hear, we got Eric lined up here, and you might see a different kind of headstock behind him today.
I'm excited.
An electric guitar.
Whoa! Call the Bluegrass Police.
And don't worry, I'm not going to play my favorite Tool song. I'm going to kind of keep it bluegrass adjacent. But I just kind of rediscovered playing the guitar during the pandemic because my wife bought me a pig nose amp, a little pig nose amp. I don't know if I can bring that into view without.
Sweet.
It's a great little amp. It's you can power it with batteries, and it's it's terrific. So I think I'm going to play a song by Wayne the Train Hancock, and it's kind of
nice.
a few weeks back. I think it was Quillan posted something on social media. I think he was remembering some of the great Wayne Hancock shows at Lee's in the 90s, and I realized I was at the same shows, and I absolutely love Wayne Hancock. I haven't seen him in many years, but he's a singer-songwriter from Texas, and he traveled with I think it was usually a trio, just bass and a lap steel when I saw him. And
cool.
he's got a great voice. And this is the very first song I heard by Wayne Hancock. It's called Thunderstorms and Neon Signs. There's a big black cloud blowing in from the west. I've been driving all night, Lord, I sure could use some rest. There's a hotel up ahead where I can unwind. I sure love thunderstorms and neon signs. I grew up on the road from town to town. My daddy's line of work kept us moving around. I've got fond memories of the way things were back then. The warmth of the neon with a bad storm and moving in. We listened to the Opry in a small cafe as we stopped to get a bite along the way. Whenever I hear that wind begin to whine, it takes me back to another time. I got a real nice room with a radio and TV. This here motel life is the only life for me. And it looks like it'll be raining for quite some time. Mixed with the lightning is the glow from the neon sign. We listen to the Opry in a small cafe as we stop to get a bite along the way. Whenever I hear that wind begin to whine, it takes me back to another time.
Hell yeah.
Isn't that a great song?
That is awesome, and people are loving it. Well, we had a nice comment here from our old bandmate Derek Johnson. Shoot us! But Severin, he says go Eric.
Thanks,
and
Severin.
Katie Murphy says rock on. We got tons of hand claps. Gary Kobus says now that's country.
Yeah.
It is.
And Denise agrees.
It's
that
the hard stuff.
he does it all. And Jean, your wife, says you can be forgiven if you only plug in every once in a while and we play like
Yes.
and Connie points out that is kind of an old motel trend going on.
There really is. I noticed that.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Wish I
Nice
had a
picking.
hotel song here.
All right. Well, that was really cool. And, folks, that's what this is all about, man. I love that quarantine has kind of made us all just kind of move a little bit out of our comfort zone and try some different things. And I sure appreciate you doing that, Eric. And we asked Clint
awesome.
if he wouldn't play some more trad stuff today, because we're like, Clint, Eric and I both have this stuff lined up. We want people to remember that we're a bluegrass band.
I gotta keep it grounded here for us.
Yeah, so we're calling in Clint for the final brunch to keep it bluegrass. But before he goes on, I do want to mention we have a shared tip jar that we're sharing with the Roe family. Right now we're not gigging much, so
Now's the time.
every little bit helps, and we'd appreciate anything. I'll throw it in the comments as well, but you can send something along, and we'd appreciate it. And we appreciate you being here, everybody. I see Riley says, great. He says, I'm hearing just a bit of Hank Sr. there.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah,
Agreed. And our good friend Becky, uber talented, great singing and guitar
Becky.
work. Thanks, Becky. And all right, well, we're going to bring it back to the bluegrass here. Clint, what do you got? You got to have something pretty bluegrassy for
pretty
us now.
bluegrassy here. Pretty about as bluegrassy as it gets in terms of guitar. I'm going to play a little bit of the old Blackberry Blossom here.
Yeah. All right.
Keeping it simple. Here we go. All right.
Son, we got to start giving you more than one break on that one.
Yeah. Wow, that sounded
Send it around a couple
fantastic,
times.
Clint.
Thank you.
Way to
Thank
go,
you.
man. That was some
Appreciate it.
some hot picking. And others agree. Gene just says, wow. And Mary Pat
what
says,
else
nice
is there?
Blackberry Blossom. And coming from a fiddle player, that's a good
Yes,
thing.
thank you.
Connie says, great. Big high five from Severin. Awesome, says Carla. Great picking, says Gary. Nice, man. That was sweet. And you
Sweet,
brought us
thank
back
you.
to the bluegrass.
I did. I gotta keep us here.
So I can do my heavy metal cover now, right?
9 Inch Nails or a little.
Yeah.
For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Bluegrass Brunch, as evidenced by that last song right there
Yes,
from
bluegrass.
our boy Clint. We're the High 48s, and we're playing the first half of the show. We got a couple more tunes for you, and then we're going to bring out our good friends, the Roe Family Singers. Kim and Quillan are waiting backstage, and we can't wait to have them up. They're some of our favorite musicians and people in the whole world, and it's just the perfect way to celebrate. And thank you guys for being here for our final Bluegrass Brunch. This is the ninth week this year, and we really appreciate you joining us. So I'm not going to play a heavy metal cover,
Oh, bummer.
but this one maybe does not qualify as bluegrass, but it's got some bluegrassy themes like driving alone in your car at night and listening to country music and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll qualify. This is one actually I just realized it was 10 years ago. I released an all original solo album that with material that didn't quite fit in bluegrass bands that I was in. So it's just kind of, like Eric said, bluegrass adjacent, maybe. But Eric played on this tune, and I loved his fiddle work, and I wish he was playing with me now, but I'll do my best to do it solo. This is a song I wrote after coming home. I lived in Colorado for a few years and was transitioning back to Minnesota, but also kind of transitioning into a new life, like kind of looking at music as maybe my career, and wondering about finishing college and all the rest. And
It's a lot of content for one song.
yeah, well, it's nice and simple, but I summed it all up.
It's all in there.
I summed it all up by just that if this goes out for anybody who's driven through the state of Nebraska by themselves at night. It's called Red Lights on the Radio Tower. side, and white lines to the horizon. In Nebraska with a broken heart. Now that's a lonesome state to drive in. And the sky is as black now as mine. My coffee is cold. It's 2 in the morning and I've got a long way to go. But those red lights on the radio tower, flashing slowly for the tired and the lonely. Red lights on the radio tower, like some long lost city skyline. Won't you help me to find my way back home? Rear view is clear as hindsight. It's just a dark, empty road that I've left behind me. I'm lost and alone now. I reach out for my stereo. Well, is there anybody else out here tonight? Oh, but then through the static I hear a sad old country song. And my homesick heart, it just starts beating right along with those red lights on the radio tower, still flashing slowly for the tired and the lonely. Red lights on the radio tower, like an old familiar skyline. Won't you help me to find my way back home?
Very nice.
Another great tune here, man.
Haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while.
That's my first hearing on that one. That's
Well,
great.
thanks. Well, Severance says, "Miss the pedal steel." That's right. For those of you who are in the Twin Cities, you know a guy named Jed German is not only an amazing luthier, luthier to the stars is what I call him, but he's an incredible musician, mandolin player, and pedal steel player.
Man.
And I roped him into playing mandolin and pedal steel on my record. And man, I miss that too. And Gary says, that one puts me in the car driving through Nebraska. I'm sorry about that, Gary.
Sorry.
Becky says, beautiful song. Thank you, Becky. I sure appreciate it. And one of your faves, Sarah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I see the fiddle is out, and that's probably a good way to take us home here at the end of our portion of our final Bluegrass Brunch. Eric, what do you got ready for us here today?
I, too, am going back in time, actually just about 10 years, too. I did a solo fiddle record the same year that Tony, I think, recorded his solo album. And this is an original number I wrote, put on that record. It's called Lost Time Waltz, and it seems appropriate right now because what happened to the last year? Although it seems like a really long time also, so I don't know. But at any rate, it's kind of a wistful waltz that I wrote, and here we are.
sounded fantastic, Eric.
Thank you.
And Clint, I think you're muted. We got hand claps from Mary Pat and Severin. And Connie says, beautiful. And Gary says, great tune, Eric. And I agree. And actually, now that I think about that title, Eric, that's probably the best tune we could have closed our Bluegrass Brunch on this year, the Lost Time Waltz. And I'm going to just do a plug for that record. It's called In the Quiet Night. Is that right, Eric?
That's right.
It's a really, really great album. I mean, it's not just a bunch of like fiddle tunes, that he pulled out. He really went around the Midwest, found some really great tunes, and put on some of his originals as well. So if you're a fiddler out there, you should go check out In the Quiet Night by Eric.
And it has some great banjo playing on it too.
I might have made an appearance as well, but yeah. Anyways, well, in order to fund the next fiddle record and hopefully High 48's record and the Roe Family Singers record, we do have a shared tip jar that we're passing around. We're passing the hat. We're not at the Astor, but we'll pass the hat, and we'll split with the Roe family as well. And I'll put that in the comments, and you can see it scrolling there. Any little bit helps. But without further ado, I'm so excited about our guests, our final guests here on the brunch. I don't want to make you wait any longer, so I'm going to bring them right now to the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim and Quillan Roe, the Roe Family Singers.
Hey.
Hey guys, good morning.
Hey guys.
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
So good to see you.
So I just was thinking about that tip jar thing that you were just mentioning.
Yes.
And I just was thinking about, we're all musicians, so we're used to being fairly poor. And so if you were to donate $1, just $1 today, that would be 20 cents a musician here, because there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
20 cents a day can feed a musician for a year, as far as I know.
Won't you help?
Won't you help?
Just think of the children. I have children.
I think we all
have
do.
children.
We all have children, yeah.
That's
Well,
true,
Kim
yeah.
and Quillan, thank you guys so much for being here. What a great way to kind of close out this series. Eric and I were discussing before you came about, well, not today, but earlier this week, about how long that we have known you. And Eric, he sent me a picture that I wanted to share here.
It's just you.
You might recognize, don't worry. I think you'll recognize the artwork and the faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how many people out there remember these guys, the Accident Clearinghouse, but go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say, it's really, I was just struck looking at it again, just how great the artwork is. And I think you had a hand in that, right?
So the Jeff Tranberry, the guy
Right.
who is to my left, the very excited young fellow with the glasses. So Eric Christopher and Jeff and I all went to high school together.
Yep.
And Jeff and I did the actual artwork. Jeff did all the putting it together, because he's always been super computer savvy. And Eric, you played some really fantastic fiddle on that album.
I'll take your word for it. I can't bear to listen.
I understand completely.
And the first time that I met you, Quillan, I was playing in a band called Free Range Pickin', and we were up at this little coffee house in Duluth called Beaner's Central.
Yes.
And this we were playing with this band I hadn't heard before, and this guy had a banjo, and it was plugged in, and I was like, that's super cool. So after the show, I had to go meet him, and it was you, Quillan, and I've been a huge fan ever since.
Thank you. That was a really fun show. That was Accident Clearinghouse again, opening for you guys. You guys were huge up there, and then you brought it down here, and
Big in Duluth.
it's worked for a lot of bands.
Yeah.
But
That's true. Thank
and
you.
you guys had that awesome holiday show, and we got to play on that with you.
Cedar, right?
At the Cedar,
which was
yeah, a good
fantastic.
6 or 7 years. Yeah, your show was so fun that year.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, for folks who are new to the show, or maybe they're beaming in from other places, do you guys want to just give a brief bio where you guys are located and what you guys do?
Go for it.
We're the Kim loves talking.
I do.
She just loves talking on a
I
mic,
can't stop.
and I'm so embarrassed. I'm so shy.
All right, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. The Roe Family Singers are some of the finest string band musicians, songwriters, singers, performers, entertainers that you're going to see anywhere in the world. They made a mark on the Twin Cities, in a lot of different ways, but their weekly gigs at the 331 in Northeast. I mean, talk about building community. Like that's a big part of what.
How many Mondays in a row was that? I remember you posting something about that, but I'm.
Remember.
If we're not for the pandemic, it would have been 15 years.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness. And that's crazy, man.
That's awesome, and it goes a long way to like bring people together, and that's one of the things I love about your music.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have to say, like towards the end of that, I was getting tired. It had been every Monday for 15 years, 52 weeks a year, and I was kind of thinking maybe it's time to move on to something else. But now, not playing basically at all. I really really miss it, and I realize now how important that was to me on a level that I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We miss you, Katie Joe.
Katie Joe from living in Switzerland, missing the 331 days. Yeah, but it you know what though? I just want you guys to understand, like too. It's like it's one of those like sometimes thankless things. You go and you play, and maybe you pass the tip jar around. But clearly, you guys get something back from the crowd. But I think there's a long-term effect that happens when you do something like that, where people go and all of a sudden they realize they like string band music, they like banjos, they like and they might not even remember where the seed got planted. But I think it's at venues and recurring gigs like that. So, anyways,
the biggest compliment I think that. And I'm serious about this, that we ever get, and it was the same with Accident Clearinghouse, is when people come up to you and say, I don't like bluegrass music, but I really like what you guys are doing. Like, when you can, seriously, like when you can break their preconceived notions of what a genre is and what they think they know and what they think they like, that's a really big thing.
Yeah, it's true. And that's what happens when you bring it like authenticity to it, and you guys do. And a lot of people here want to say hello, Gary,
Hey, Gary.
and Terry,
Hey, Terry.
and
Hey,
Riley.
Hey, Riley.
You guys, the comments are wide open, so you guys can throw your comments in. They'll see it while it scrolls by, but I want to get to the music. I think everybody wants to hear some of these fine harmonies and playing from the Roe family. So throw your questions, comments, and emojis in the comments, and let's give it up for the Roe Family Singers.
Yeah.
This first one we're going to do is Little Billy Rubin. We wrote this when our first daughter was born because she had jaundice. And friends of ours just had a brand new baby girl this week. So this is for Katrina and Mike and big brother Oliver.
And Arabella.
Arabella, yep. For the new baby Arabella. It's called Little Billy Rubin.
We can take these out.
I'm going to leave mine in just in case something important happens while we're playing music.
Listen to the game.
You got the twins going on here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to fill me in.
Okay. Bill Rubin is a wee little man. The doctors will catch him if they can. When they do, they give him a tan. Run, little Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Bill Rubin's a sweet little girl, sweetest little girl in the whole round world. Stop her ears, the silent swirls. Run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. You want one? Bill Rubin's a fine little lad, decided to be his dad. One long hug drove the poor boy mad. Run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Let's see what this thing can do. These earbuds are a little distracting.
Check them out.
You might think that I'm being unfair, that I'm biased beyond compare. You can call me jaundiced, I don't care. Run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run. Run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, little Billy Rubin, run, Billy, run.
right.
Sounds so great.
That's
You guys found a way to make jaundice fun. How about
Yeah.
that? Oh, man.
There we go.
That was fantastic. People are loving it. We got all kinds of. We got a yay from Severin and our friend Graham. Hey Graham. Hand
Graham.
claps
Graham.
from Graham
Awesome.
and Kathy's loving it. And Katie Jo says makes me think of Elspeth. And Rob, I can't keep up with all the comments. There's so
Holy
much great
heck.
stuff as always. Wowza, fabulous playing.
Oh,
That was great, you guys. It sounded
Sherry,
so
give
good.
Claire a big hug.
And a big woo. That is how we.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need right now, you guys. Hand claps from our friend David Robinson. Hey, David.
Hey, David.
Yes, making me dance in the kitchen, says Nora. All right.
I think you had your earbuds out, but I said, leave it to the Roe Family Singers to make jaundice fun. What other band could do that? I don't know.
You know, Quillan, I never thought that I really liked jaundice until I heard it.
I think I might like jaundice.
Oh, no.
This sounds
bad rap.
nice.
You should wait till our next album. We have a whole bunch of stuff that people didn't think that they'd like.
Like us. That's the most important one.
Yes.
Next, I want to hear a song about hypoglycemia. That's what I want.
It's funny
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
mention that, actually.
It's called the Hypo Blues.
Well, this is an
Oh,
old
boy.
this is an old String Bean and Grandpa Jones song that I had wanted to learn this one forever, but I just there's always songs
It
you
took a
want to learn.
5-year-old
It took a 5-year-old to request it. So this is a hot corn, cold corn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nice. Here we go.
You're gonna take. I'm gonna try taking this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, take those out. We'll just
Go
put them
ahead.
in afterwards.
You'll
It was
be all
wrapping
right.
around my arm. It was weird.
Not ideal.
That's hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. There, Uncle Bill, see you in the morning. Yes, sir. Well, it's upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. Upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. Upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. See Uncle Bill just clucking like a chicken. Yes, sir. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. There, Uncle Bill, see you in the morning. Yes, sir. Well, so long, Peggy, won't you fill 'em up again? Old on Peggy, won't you fill 'em up again? Old on Peggy, won't you fill 'em up again? Ain't had that since Lord knows when. Yes, sir. Let's hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. There, Uncle Bill, see you in the morning. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, yon come preach and chill, not crying. Yon come preach and chill, not crying. Yon come preach and chill, not crying. Chicks are hawing, toes are flying. Yes, sir. Let's hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Fair along, we'll see you in the morning. Yes, sir. All I want to make me happy. Two little kids call me Pappy. One named Salt and the other named Gravy. One's gonna suffer and the other's gonna save me. Yes, sir. What's hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Fair Uncle, we'll see you in the morning. Yes, sir. What's hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a Dammy John. Fair Uncle, we'll see you in the morning. Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Sped up a little bit there.
The Roe family's bringing in the washboard and the kazoo.
Man.
Sorry, I
Man.
sped it up. We haven't played it in a while.
Folks, feel free to get up and dance. We did have one person mention that they were dancing in their kitchen, and Barbara, it makes her want to go make some cornbread. Do that, and you can. We'll send you the Rose address afterwards. You can drop off those. Hey, it's our friend Ellen, Mother Banjo.
Ellen.
With the no washboard or kazoo emoji. I know, man. We got to start a
Yeah.
petition. for that. And lots of people loving this, you guys.
Thank you. We're having so much
Claire
fun.
clapping, nice.
I was thinking while we were listening to your set, Eric, Wayne Hancock. That's my
Oh my
favorite
God.
That's my favorite of all of his songs, and he's
Me
done
too.
a lot of stuff. And I love Thunderstorms and Neon Signs. We first saw him. Jeff and I went down and saw him at the Fine Line the first time he came to town.
Nice.
And it was because I think it was Jackson Buck played him on KFAI, and he played Thunderstorms and Neon Signs. And like Riley said in the comments, I literally thought it was some unearthed Hank Sr. Like that they had somehow found some new Hank stuff.
He sounds just like him. Yeah, he really does.
My first time seeing him was at Lee's when he was bit by a spider.
Bit by a spider.
Oh yeah. I think I was at that show too. Yeah. Yeah.
It was a good show.
Every time after a song, his speech slowed down.
He sang
even
clear as a
more.
bell, but yeah, his
Yeah.
speech in between was just.
Dang old Spider-Man.
That's fine.
All right, this one is called "Too Big to Fail." We wrote this in the last 10 months or so. I'm sure you can probably imagine why. Oh,
right?
banjo! I love the banjo.
Boy.
Wish I was too big to fail like banks and all tycoons. The government would come and bail me out before my room. I'd sink my well deep in the till. Don't worry a bit about a spill. Light cigars with dollar bills. If I was too big to fail, if I was too big to fail, money couldn't do me harm. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be losing my farm. If I was too big to fail, there's nothing I couldn't do. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be singing to you. Wish I was too big to fail like Wall Street Avenue. I'd buy and sell and trade all day, and the rent would never come due. I'd buy a corporate lobbyist, keep a congressman as a pet, never have to hedge a bet. If I was too big to fail, if I was too big to fail, money couldn't do me harm. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be losing my farm. If I was too big to fail, there's nothing I couldn't do. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be singing to you. Wish I was too big to fail like insurance companies. Instead of me backing you up, you're bankrolling me. I'd spend your money instead of mine. Break the law and do no time. Don't cost me a single dime. If I was big to fail, if I was too big to fail, nothing I couldn't do. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be losing my farm. If I was too big to fail, there's nothing I couldn't do. If I was too big to fail, I wouldn't be singing to you. I live my life consequence free, insist on my humanity, take the whole economy. If I was too big to fail.
Nice.
Nice.
I love that. The kind of like strumming style you're doing there, Quillan. That sounds great. Like almost like that, tenor banjo stuff.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
that's-
what I was thinking of.
It's like
Thanks,
skiffle.
guys. That's
Yeah.
the idea. So when we play those 331 Mondays, our guitar player Dan Gorder, who has been in bands, like all of us, has been playing music professionally forever. And if you haven't been to one of our 331 shows, we do our own material and we do traditional songs, but we also do just a lot of covers of just weird stuff. And Dan really likes
It's weird stuff.
Yeah, weird stuff. Dan really likes country songs in the key of E, which are, as you know, Tony, like the bane of the banjo. And so
He's tough.
I learned how to do this. I've been doing this kind of bastardization of tenor banjo playing. I keep my thumb on my fifth string so it doesn't ring, and
Yep.
I'm just
Nice.
strumming it like this.
That was perfect for that tune, man. It's perfect.
Thank you very much. And I was thinking about. I forgot what I was thinking about.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. Because you're witty. I was thinking about Eric. That's what it was, about Eric Christopher. You were talking about the Accident Clearinghouse album. So Eric was 2 or 3 years ahead of me in high school. I don't remember.
Something like that.
But Eric had a reputation in high school of being a really good musician, like super good, like top. And he only played, he was serious. Like we all knew in high school that Eric was a musician. The rest of us were just stupid high school kids, but Eric was a musician. But I had a string of like 2 or 3 bands where Eric quit the band and then I was hired to replace him.
Which bands were those?
There was an unnamed one with Jeff and his older brother John. And then there was Okra Fava with Jeff and
gosh.
John.
Oh yeah.
And you had written this beautiful song called "The Corner of My Eye" that I had to try to sing.
I have no recollection of that at all.
Really, it goes.
No.
I'm looking through the corner of my eye. I caught a glimpse of you, and you were high.
No.
On a hillside.
Oh my God. Stop.
This is gold, Quillan. This is gold. What else?
Oh
What other
my
dirt
God.
can you dish on Eric?
It was beautiful.
And tell me, I want to know more about high
But
school
I
Eric.
just always felt.
Seriously.
I felt like I was living in the shadow of Eric Christopher.
That's hilarious.
There's a song for you, living in the shadow. Very
Living in the shadow of myself.
And then, so when Jeff then hired you, Eric, to play fiddle on Accident Clearinghouse record, I was kind of intimidated. And like you came into the studio and you had long hair, and it was another one of those things where like at that point Accident Clearinghouse was pretty successful, but I don't know about you guys, but I still suffer from imposter syndrome.
That's
every
universal,
day.
yes.
And I just felt like, here's this real guy coming into the studio, and you didn't talk. You were totally just like, like that. Yeah, it was Boomhauer basically.
Wow.
Really.
And you just shredded the fiddle, and I just sat in the control room like, man, this guy is incredible. So there you go. There's it's not good dirt because it's all
It's all positive
hero
dirt.
worship. Yeah.
That's such a cool connection, you guys.
That's funny.
What?
All right, this is a gospel song we wrote called "What Did He Say?" This is on our last record. This one is, I identify as Christian. I used to lead the worship at our church for 8 years, and I was part of the band for 12 years at the House of Mercy in St. Paul. It's where Kim and I got married. And I just have been thinking over the last, let's say 4 years, I've been thinking a lot about my faith and how it relates to the larger community of my faith and what it means to be a Christian, and how I feel like a lot of folks are kind of missing the point of what Christianity is about. I mean, it's, I'll let the song do the rest of it for me. But
Thanks for the stories.
you're welcome, Gene. I've got plenty more.
Eric's wife saying, for those of you just listening, never heard some of these Eric stories. Thanks, Quillan. And you know what? I think after this, we're going to be calling you up, Quillan, because we need some more banter on stage here.
And you can help me sort of fill in some of the gaps I have in the 1990s.
I understand.
What did I miss?
What?
See, that's what happens when I take
You
this
took out
out.
your earbuds too soon.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to do it till he starts
We'll have to watch it back.
All right, are you ready?
it.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't know.
So what did he say? So it's this one's called. You can
I'll
take your
like
earbuds
this.
out.
I don't trust you. You're
Okay.
going to be talking.
Fair enough. Where was he born and where did he die? And what were the things that he said? Well, he was born in Bethlehem and he died at Calvary. And he said, treat folks how you want to be treated. Well, I heard about that sermon on the mount, and I heard about that sermon on the plain. And when I heard those words made my heart pound, 'cause that's the way I want to be living. Oh, where was he born and where did he die? And what were the things that he said? Well, he was born in Bethlehem and he died at Calvary. And he said, treat us how you want to be treated. When you are the poor and blessed are the meek and blessed are the least among men. Blessed are the merciful, the peaceful, and the weak, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Oh, where was he born and where did he die? And what were the things that he said? Well, he was born in Bethlehem and he died at Calvary. And he said, Trick folks how you wanna be treated. When you see a stranger in your town, find a way to welcome them in. When you see the hungry and run down, help them as if you were helping him. Oh, where was he born and where did he die? And what were the things that he said? Well, he was born in Bethlehem and he died at Calvary. And he said, Trick folks how you wanna be treated. Yes, he was born in Bethlehem and he died at Calvary. And he said, Trick folks how you wanna be treated.
Woo!
Yeah. Amen.
That one,
Awesome.
you guys have recorded with Steve Call before, right?
I have.
My sessions at Wild were Matthew Zimmerman, actually.
Oh,
I've recorded with both, but yeah, I know
Clint?
Steve. Yeah.
So, you guys have been in the space. Steve Call is a producer and engineer and mix master, and we've worked with him for this will be our 4th or 5th time, I think.
I don't know.
We've done a bunch of albums with him, and so when you work with a producer, so maybe it's not Steve for you guys. You have another producer that you worked with a lot. You get a relationship built up, and so you get more comfortable with each other. And on that one, Steve is like the most polite, low affect guy ever. And we get done recording it, and he says, Quillan, you need to really work on your enunciation on the chorus of that one. And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, well, when you say treat folks how they want to be treated, it doesn't come out that way, and it kind of takes the whole message in a different direction.
It's good to have another set of ears in
That's
those
funny.
situations.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
Roe Family Singers, family friendly.
Do we have time for another song?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know what,
yeah.
guys? I mean, this is our venue, so
Run it back.
if you, however many you guys have planned, let's do it if you're willing.
We've got 2 more planned. Is that okay?
Let's
That's
do it.
great.
Well, we missed plans, so maybe we'll just take up the whole afternoon.
You guys can keep
I
going.
mean-
People are loving it here. Gary says, great song.
Thank you.
Nancy's remembering a great show. I remember this House of Mercy with Ralph
yeah.
Stanley.
Oh yeah.
Saturday Night Sinners, Sunday Morning Saints. That was an epic show.
So I've told that was the Ralph Stanley one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was incredible. They had done 2 years before that. They had done one with Charlie Louvin of the Louvin Brothers. I've told this
nice.
story on stage before, but I don't know if you guys have heard it. The Louvin Brothers one was really cool. It was at the the old House of Mercy, which was down on Wakuta and West 7th, I think it was.
Yes.
And it was I just don't. So they've got this song. The Louvin Brothers have the song called "The Kneeling Drunkard's Plea," and I had never liked that song. I always thought I loved them, but that song I just thought was this maudlin. I didn't like it. So Slim Dunlap was right before us, and Slim goes up on stage. It's just him and his guitar. Slim Dunlap was the guitar player for the Replacements. Just an incredible musician here, and I'm watching him do it, and I'm because we're up next, so I'm standing in the wings. I'm watching him do it from behind, and I'm thinking, wow, this has got some power to it. And then all of a sudden, behind me, somebody starts singing the harmony, and I'm thinking, wow, that really makes it. And I turn around, and it's Charlie Louvin.
Oh boy.
So Slim had moved Charlie to sing this song that he used to sing with his brother Ira. And so it was coming at me, from both sides. It was this beautiful stereo thing, and it was so powerful. It was
That's
just
crazy.
incredible. But that Saturday night, Sunday morning thing at the Turf Club and at the church with Ralph Stanley was also incredible. That was funny because the guy he had playing second banjo with him said at the end of the show to one of the folks from House of Mercy, he says, "Boy, you guys are really lucky you booked Ralph when you did, because they had booked it
remember
before
that. Yeah.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou came out."
Yep.
Oh,
And
sure.
Ralph, of course, blew up after that, and he said, "You couldn't afford us now."
That's funny.
And you guys were there. You remember that place both of them were standing room only.
Yep.
And how cool to be Ralph Stanley playing bluegrass in the Turf Club on a Saturday night. How rock and roll, how punk rock is that? That's really cool. Anyways, this next song is another one we wrote called "The Road Is Rocky." Tony, when you did your song about the guy who wants to go into the hotel room and just get his head straight, that is literally where this song was written. I was trapped in a hotel room for a week while my car was getting fixed up in Two Harbors, Minnesota. And all I had with me was like one change of clothes because I had only expected to be there for a night, and my guitar. So
Oh, cool.
there you go. This is
Awesome.
called "The Road Is Rocky." You ready?
No. No.
Oh, and one other thing. No? Okay. What did you just do?
Nothing. Didn't even know.
Leaving behind those bright city lights, the country's where I go. I've got to find some peace of mind, so I turn down a lonesome dirt road. When the moon is full and the whiskey runs dry, a man can tell a lot by the road that he drives. They say to him, son, this is the path you will fly until you choose to choose, until you choose to die. Trying to find an end to my pain, I know what I have to do. Got to close the door and look inside. Got to find something called the truth. And I know the road is rocky, I know, 'cause my feet are bare. I wish that I didn't have to hurt, but sometimes I got to hurt to find that you're there. And I know the light is shining, I know, 'cause my chest is bare, it reflects off of my pale skin, bounces round in the dark to find the answers there. Leaving behind those bright city lights, the country's where I go. I've got to find some peace of mind, so I turn down the lonesome dirt road. And I know the road is rocky, I know, 'cause my feet are bare. I wish that I didn't have to hurt, but sometimes you got to hurt to find that you're there.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was a great song.
Thank
Man,
you.
Terry Nelson says, love this song. Severance says, you guys are great. Thank you. Lots of hand claps. Katie Joe, our good friend Katie Joe, such a great song. Watching this with a Swiss friend, and I think we've got a convert. You're making some new
Nice.
fans
right.
overseas. Great song from another great songwriter, Derek Johnson.
This is the first time I played this today.
And
And he has no
Gary
idea what we're
says,
talking about right now.
yeah, and Gary says, what a treat. Kim and Quillan, thanks so much. Okay, wait, when he puts it in. Yeah, and that was the time
I know, right?
Quillan
Oh.
finally put his pants back on.
That's hilarious.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Clearly, that's not a true story because I never put my pants back on.
I had to think on my feet. All right. Dave Robinson says, very nice. There's just all kinds of great compliments coming into both of you for such a great song.
Quillan, has anybody ever said you sound a little bit like Seth Avett?
No, what a great compliment.
Yeah, I was hearing that the last couple songs. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Clint.
yeah.
I think
nice.
I don't know. With songwriting, and I don't know if you guys have approached this, but I was a singer long before I learned how to play. I didn't pick up a guitar till I was 14. I didn't pick up a banjo till about, till I was in my my late 20s. But I'd always been a singer and a rhythm player, and that was it. And so maybe I just think about it more. I don't know, but I always try to pitch my songs when I'm writing them. I try to pitch them right either at my break or right below my break. in my voice because I really like the power that it gets when it's pushing like that. And maybe that comes from having a background in punk and heavy metal. So I'm used to that aggressiveness, but it's one of the things that, like, I've been listening to the Avets for forever, and it was one of the things that I really noticed about them right off the bat was that they were using traditional instruments, but they were doing it in such a rock and roll approach, and definitely the voices are the same. Like, I was just listening to it, like I hadn't listened to them for a while, and I was listening to them last week, and that was it was the first thing I was struck with was just that beautiful cross between genres that they get. Because when they first started, they didn't have any drums. It was just a banjo upright. It was like All of Us. It was a bluegrass band.
They were folk for sure. Yeah.
It was Thank you. That's a great compliment.
Yeah.
I love those guys. And I was thinking of things that So we've talked about our relationship with Tony and our relationship with Eric. We haven't really talked about Clint. And I think the biggest nice thing I can say about Clint is that when you guys started competing seriously in the state fair duet competition, that's when we stopped.
Wow.
Like, we just were like, we won. And then
we walked away.
I can't remember if did Jesse and I ever compete with you guys. I can't remember. I feel like you must have been there our first year. You must have been. I think you might have won the first year. Maybe you guys got second and we were like third or something like that.
The first time we did it, we were in 5th place, and then the second time we got 1st place, which was really nice. And Eric and Dana were 2nd place, I'm pretty sure, that year.
Okay. Man.
For those of you who aren't from Minnesota, this is a duet competition that happens at the Minnesota State Fair, and it's kind of a big deal. Like, our bluegrass community is really strong here in Minnesota. There's an organization called the Minnesota Bluegrass Music and Old Time Music Association, something like that.
Nailed it.
I screwed it up, but anyways, it's an organization that's been around for decades, 40 years, I believe, is like they're celebrating 40 years together, and they sponsor these things that keep people together. And this duet competition is probably one of the more unique competitions I've seen, and I've launched a couple careers around here.
Yeah, and I don't know if I had if we had really met before that point, but I knew who you guys were, and so I know we definitely competed together at least once. But that's funny.
The first show we played with them was where your banjo head it was so hot and humid it sunk. That's what I remember.
I had
we played the washboard that whole set.
For non-banjo players, the head of a banjo is a skin, and usually today it's synthetic. Used to be made out of like goat or cat belly or something like that. And I had an old banjo that had a skin head on it, and those things you can't keep tension in them. They just keep sinking in the humidity of a Minnesota summer. And I forgot about that.
After that show, he went to a synthetic head.
That's true. I was mad. I was like, I want to be authentic, but
no,
not in this climate.
But the first time we saw them was were you Sawtooth Mountain?
No, we were never Sawtooth Mountain. Sawtooth Bluegrass Band, I'm sure, at the time.
But you guys were still boys.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
there was
cool.
a time.
They still are.
Yeah, well, true enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to be playing with Eric here because I'm not the oldest one.
Oh, come on. I know. I always used to be the youngest person in the band, and then it just one day I woke up and I was the oldest person in the band. How did that happen?
Being the youngest, so thank you, Clint.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say, you guys, you have another tune, right?
Yes, one more.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much for helping us close out this season. I mean, you represent everything that we're trying to do with this brunch. You guys are provide great music, but also have great values, and you also bring people together in community. And we want to thank you so much for spending the time to do this with us today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
and we want to remind people that we do have a shared tip jar out there. If you want to throw a little something in there, you can help fund the next Roe Family adventure, whatever that may be. What's in store for you guys?
We actually
I don't know. We might actually do a live stream in the kitchen. I don't know.
Nice.
Travel around just a little bit.
tour to the kitchen.
Go all the way
Tour
to
the house.
kitchen. Wow.
We have
nice.
Are we in March yet? No, we're a day away from March. 1st of April or beginning of April, we're recording a new record with Steve Call, who we mentioned over at Wild Sound.
Nice.
And since, like most of us, we're not able to get together to practice, was it you, Tony, who mentioned that you guys were trying a virtual practice and it worked?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're looking at the virtual practice right here.
Yeah.
You
well,
woke up.
exactly. Somebody. But anyways, so what we've been doing is we've been sharing demos back and forth, and so actually when we're done with you guys, we're meeting with the rest of the band, digitally or
Virtually.
And we've got I think 12 songs, and so what we did was Kim and I recorded our parts, and then we send them out to the rest of the band, and then they record their parts, and then we'll get back together and listen to what everyone's done and say, okay, yes, okay, no, let's change this, let's keep that, and
Nice.
I don't know, never done it before. I hope it works.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, we're looking
Nice.
forward to that album, and I want to also say for folks out there who want a little more of the Roes, they've started becoming very, very active on Instagram and other social networks, and they put together these great videos. They're super fun and super enjoyable. So I threw the link to their Instagram in the comments.
Thank
Go click on that and follow them. And the High 48s while you're there too, and then, but seriously, I've really enjoyed that, and it's like just another little thing during this time when we're all trapped inside and we can't experience that music. Just when those videos come across my feed, it brings joy, and
Thank you.
it's really a lot of fun.
See?
Thank you.
It's that
That's-
easy. Just go follow them. I definitely was
You
a
just did.
follower already.
Well, people are loving this, you guys. I don't want to keep them from the music any longer. I'll quit my yapping.
Here's our favorite Hank Williams song. Well, I gotta take this out. That's not gonna work.
Now they're all going to talk about us. We don't
I'm
know.
on my pants. Or lack thereof. Well, I wandered so aimless, a life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered alone. Worries and fears I claimed for my own. Then, like a blind man, that God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander and stray, for straight is the gate and narrow's the way. Now I have traded wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Wow, great harmonies, you guys.
Wow.
The
Nice.
Roe Family Singers, everyone. Give it up
Oh,
for
boy.
Kim and Quillan. I'm going to do another round of applause so they can
Yeah,
hear it.
they
I
can
want
hear
them
it.
to hear all the applause,
That was
too.
really nice, you guys.
Very much.
It was absolutely gorgeous. People were loving it. Lots of people thanking you and talking about how great the harmony singing was. And we can't thank you guys enough. That Mary Pat said it was the perfect way to close out the series, and I completely
agree.
I
agree.
agree.
That was it, man. That was
it.
that was the period at the end of
Thank
the
you so
sentence.
much for having us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. And, there's been some people here. Thank you guys. Oh, we're getting lots of hand claps and people loving the brunches. I guess, this is kind of tough because this
I
really
know.
has been kind of a lifeline for all of us. And I want to just say to all of you out there who are taking the time to comment and who are coming on, right now and sharing the emojis and everything that, if it wasn't for you guys, I mean, obviously this wouldn't even happen, and
Yeah.
we can't thank you enough. You are the other half. We do what we do because of you, and we so appreciate it. We want you to know that, and
Absolutely.
and we can't wait for this whole thing to finally pass, and for us to be able to do it in person again,
Yes.
and. Rose, man, we definitely have to do a few more shows as soon
We
as
do.
possible.
Seriously.
We
I mean, I
always-
don't mind playing with this guy just here at home, but
Yeah.
And
you guys are always one of our favorites to play with.
oh yes.
well, thanks. It's just such good energy,
Likewise.
and folks are mentioning this idea that we floated before about maybe like doing an encore brunch or two here while we're still trapped at home.
I mean,
So we'll consider it, you guys. Yeah, I think I would love it, and we'll stay tuned. Subscribe to our Instagram channel and our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And our
find
email
out.
list, and we'll let you know. But you know what? This has just been so awesome, and you got Roe Family Singers one more time, everybody. I just have to say that was perfect. And let's give it up for all of you out there in the audience as well.
Yes, thank you.
And
we really appreciate it.
Yes.
next year, hopefully we'll be doing this in person again.
We will be.
Bluegrass Brunch, January and February. Hopefully at the Astor Cafe again. And
Yeah.
what do we got up in that? I mean, we actually have some gigs in the summer, so you can go to our website and check out those nice, safely distant gigs in parks. where you can-
August is almost normal, really.
Almost.
It's almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hopefully.
yeah.
What about you guys, Rose? Are you got some stuff on the calendar this year?
It's yes, we do. It's not like
Yeah.
normal. It's
Yep,
it's
yep.
so.
But it's kind of nice to
Yeah.
have anything at this
Yes,
point, isn't
absolutely.
it? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the truth, Clint. It's
Yeah.
it's just we're grateful for anything.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
It really has been a good centering sort of experience for all of us musicians, I feel. So.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, one way, sure. Yeah.
Well,
That's how I choose to look at it, I guess.
It's good. You're a good sport.
Well, folks, you can tell we have a good time together, and we
Yeah,
can't wait
absolutely.
to do it with you again sometime down the road.
Yeah.
So until then, thanks again for being here every week at the Bluegrass Brunch. Thanks again to the Roe Family Singers, and we
Thanks
hope
for
to see you
having
soon.
us. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Quillan, would you mind closing out the show like you close out your shows?
Of course.
Thank you.
Friends, thank you so much for being here. Please remember to be kind, to be safe, and to treat folks how you like to be treated.
Help make the world a better place. Don't be a jerk.
All right, take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Perfect.